not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that lip filler can't make you look more attractive. But once you go too far and it looks like two hot dogs on your lips, I don't like it anymore, okay? Coach Greg in the world's cookbook up. That's right, I said it. It's cookbook up. So much so that we literally resort to plastic surgeries in order to make ourselves feel good enough to live in this world.
Well, after months of doing research and tarnishing my algorithm, I have some answers for you. Since 2020, cosmetic surgeries have increased nearly 50%. That's a lot.
But yet, here we are. And so for me, I believe that most people using plastic surgery are in fact females. But for the most part, people who use steroids are in fact males. And so here are my beliefs. The male equivalent of plastic surgery is in fact using steroids. Men use steroids to enhance their bodies so that they can look more aesthetic, to appeal to the opposite sex. And to the same extent, women use plastic surgery so that they can make themselves look better for the opposite sex. Oh, let's cancel Coach Greg. I've heard it every second video I do. Oh, let's cancel him. And so why is that? Oh, well, you're saying we're doing it for the opposite sex. I do it for me. Really? Let's analyze this. You're getting an ass implant for yourself. Why? So that you can look in the mirror and see that you have a big ass? Why do you want that big ass? Why do you want that big ass? I'll tell you why. Because society tells you that it looks better. And so the reason you want it is because you were told, brainwashed, that that looks better. And so why do you want breast implants? I'll tell you why. Because society's told you and brainwashed you that you think you need to have breast implants. And so why do you want long hair? Why do you want lip filler? Why do you want this, that, makeup, all of it? You have been brainwashed to think you need that to attract the opposite sex. And so you might be saying you're doing it for you, but the reason you're doing it for you is because you've been brainwashed to think that you're doing it for you. You get it? And I know it might be over most of your heads, and you think it'd be over mine, as in I'm a 5'6" manlet, everything goes over my head. But the reality is this. You have been brainwashed since you were a little boy or girl to believe these things. And for me, it's gone too far. I'm not saying you can't do these things, but if you think that getting that surgery, that's going to change your life, that from now on, you're going to feel invincible, that you're going to have self-esteem and self-confidence, I don't think so. And so no matter what that surgery is, maybe it's a boob job, an ass implant, perhaps it's a nose job, lip filler. If you think that that's going to make the difference between you being happy or upset, it's not going to do it.
I feel so much more socially awkward now, and it's ironic, really. You know, I wanted to get this procedure done to boost my confidence, but it's had the opposite effect. It's made me feel so much more self-conscious.
And so you think it's going to boost your confidence, but what's going to happen is going to draw your attention more to it. Same thing as those filters on Instagram. They drive me freaking insane. No one looks like themselves anymore. You post pictures on social media 10 years ago. You took perhaps 10, 20 pictures and you posted your best ones. That was bad enough. You had your best pictures and you had to live up to that. Now you post your best picture and there's a filter. It changes your face. It puts makeup on it. It makes you look better, more tan, younger. And so you look at that and you think you have to live up to that expectation. How could you possibly go out in society when people think you look like your Instagram photos? How could you? Well, the problem is you can't. People are now too afraid to even go out to the gym, to work out, to go on a date, unless they have a full face of makeup on. And so I'm telling you, if you get cosmetic surgery, I don't care which one it is, it's never going to be enough. You're not simply going to get that breast implant and think it's enough. You might get your breast implants, and then it needs to be bigger. And what else is next? I need liposuction. I need an ass implant. I need a BBL. I need lip filler. You've seen it, and it's not just in women. Women getting their lip fillers. Men oftentimes are getting those oils. They put it all over their bodies. They're starting to look ridiculous. And yeah, I said it. They look ridiculous.
After everything I've done, guess what? I do not feel any prettier, no better, no nothing. In theory, I'm 1,000,000% closer to the standard of beauty and 1,000,000% less confident.
And so the reality is this. The more things you do, the less confident you're going to feel. The more you feed into your weaknesses, to your insecurities, the more you're going to be aware of it and the more insecure you're going to feel. And so with each surgery, you're simply comparing yourself to an unrealistic ideal that you will never, ever attain.
Well, after months of doing research and tarnishing my algorithm, I have some answers for you. Since 2020, cosmetic surgeries have increased nearly 50%.
And so think of it. A 50% increase in the last 4 years. That is a lot. And so more and more people are getting these surgeries. And I do believe it's because people are not living up to their own views of themselves. They're filtering their photos so much on Instagram that when they look at themselves in the mirror, they're no longer happy with themselves. And so had it not been for the invention of the filters, Instagram and so on, people would not think they should look a certain way. And so ask yourself, if you're filtering your photos, your videos on Instagram, and especially if you're doing so on a daily basis, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry to have to point this out. Oh, I hate Coach Greg. He's saying there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with him. He's a manlet. Yeah, well, at least I'm not filtering out my height. I'm 5'6" and I admit it. I'm not adding 2 inches like every other short guy out there. I'm 5'6" and proud of it. And so, no, I don't have to sit here and lie. I'm not going to stand on my toes to look taller. I'm 5'6" and proud of it. And so, ladies, men, you don't have to filter your images. You can post how you actually look, and it's okay.
I've literally seen people come in that have not necessarily been bullied, not wanting to pursue their dreams, to fixing 1 or 2 things and completely changing their life.
And so I'm not saying to never get a surgery. I'm not saying never get breast implants, never get a nose job, never do this, never do that. But what I am saying is that is not going to fix the problem. If you don't like your body, it's not going to solve the problem. There is something more deep-rooted from within that you need to work on. Remember, things could be far worse. Oh, I don't like my breasts. They're only an A cup, a B cup, whatever. Do you really think that that's the worst thing that could ever happen? If only I had a C cup, my life would be good. Things could be far worse. Are you able to walk? Are you in a wheelchair? Are you missing your legs, your arms? Things could be far worse. Can you speak? Did you have brain damage? And so if the worst thing about your body is that your nose is a little bit too big or that your boobs are too small, you got it made.
Like I said, the BBL is the most dangerous. Listen to this crazy statistic I learned while I was researching. 1 in 3,000 women will pass away from getting this done.
And so let's go with the most dangerous surgery of all, the BBL. 1 in 3,000 people die. And you might be thinking, yeah, that's worth the risk. Only 1 in 3,000 die. If 1 in 3,000 die, what percentage are close to death? What percentage get very sick? What percentage have dangerous side effects that they can never undo? What percentage of people are in pain? What percentage of people regret it? And so is it actually worth it? I'm not going to say yes or no. It depends on your career, what you value in life, but I am going to say please be aware of the risk.
We have the breast augmentation, which this one has been known to have a lot of issues. Back in the 90s, when women first started feeling sick from their implants, they were actually recalled and considered unsafe. For some reason, they decided that it was safe again, even though people are still getting sick from it.
And the next surgery that's very common, breast implants. Now again, I'm not saying yes, you should get them, no, you shouldn't get them. I just want you to know about the risks, or at least be aware of why you're getting them. Are you in fact getting this for you? Why do you need breast implants? Listen, just because you're competing in a bikini competition and the other girls you're competing against perhaps have breast implants doesn't mean that you need them. You're allowed to compete implant free. And yes, there are women who have won provincial level competitions, even national competitions without implants. You can in fact get an IFBB Pro card breast implant free. Is it going to be harder? Yes. But doesn't mean you need it. Remember, compare yourself to yourself. And if you've never had breast implants and you work out in the gym and you look better, you don't need breast implants to get better. And if you really think that you want it, think about it. Take your time. Don't rush to any hasty decisions. And if you get breast implants, get the implants. But remember, you don't need them.
For Botox, let me tell you a very chilling statistic. 1 in 6 people will have a negative reaction to Botox.
And so Botox, it literally paralyzes the muscles. I actually do this myself. I've had Botox on my head. I've had it for years. And so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that I don't do it. Botox makes you look younger. But one of the things with Botox is they're telling people to do this at a very early age. People are getting it as a pre-anti-aging treatment. People as young as 18 years of age are getting Botox thinking that they need it. This is ridiculous. You don't need Botox at 18, 19, 20, and so on. And if you don't want to have wrinkles and you get Botox, remember this. Once you get Botox once, you're going to want to keep doing it. Because think of this, if you get Botox and eventually it wears off after several months, perhaps 4, 5, 6 months, and then you again see those wrinkles reappear, you're going to think, hey, I used to look a little bit better. I used to look a bit younger. And so remember, once you start doing it, you most likely are going to do this for the rest of your life. Kind of like HRT. Once you start, are you really going to take HRT for 6 months and then stop and never do it again? highly unlikely. And so think before you ask.
Filler hasn't been around as long as Botox, so we really don't know the lasting effects of it, but there's been many negative side effects already discovered about this.
And with the lip fillers, I actually was coaching a bikini athlete who had this exact reaction. She showed me a photo. I could not believe it. I was shocked, just as bad as you see in this photo. I have seen this in the real world. And so there are negative reactions. And you're thinking, yeah, but it'll get better. It's okay. And for the most part, you are correct. But here is my biggest thing. Please do not abuse this. My opinion is that Botox and lip filler are not as intrusive as, for example, a BBL where 1 in 3,000 people die, or, for example, breast implants, which cost perhaps $10,000 depending on your country. These are less intrusive, less invasive. And so if you are getting these, please don't overdo it. Don't look like you're frozen and you can't see any reactions to your body. And if you get your lips filled and then filled again and overfilled, it starts to look ridiculous. If you're kissing someone and they have very, very hard lips from having too much filler, it's not enjoyable. It's not a good feeling. I can tell you that as a man, it's not good. We don't like it. And so, yes, we like juicier lips. We do like more full lips. This is true. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that lip filler can't make you look more attractive. But once you go too far, it looks like 2 hot dogs on your lips. I don't like it anymore, okay? This is my opinion. If you like it, do you. But remember, when you get lip filler, it's not for you. It's because society has brainwashed you, right? Brainwashed you into thinking that is what you want. Why do you think you want bigger lips? Think of it from a sexuality point of view. Why would a woman want to have bigger lips? Why are bigger lips seen as more attractive? I can tell you, I like bigger lips. Why do you think that is? Let your imagination run wild. Why would it be hotter, sexier for a girl to have bigger lips? Not going to go further than that. Don't want to get demonetized.
The other ironic parts about both of these is that people usually get them because they want to look younger, right? They want their skin to look healthier and more glowy, but it actually ends up doing the opposite. It makes people look older.
And so this is true. A lot of people are getting these fillers and whatnot trying to look younger, but I'm telling you, oftentimes it makes them look older. I've seen women in their mid-30s, they have all the lip filler done, the cheek implants and all the different things. And rather than looking younger, I'm thinking, oh, this looks like a very attractive girl for being 40. Then I find out, wait, she's only 35. I'm like, really? She's only 35? Oh, I thought she was an older woman trying to look younger, but she's actually a younger woman who's looking older. And so although I do find it attractive, at least for me, I'm going to be honest, I'd rather if I was a woman look natural and look young than look better and look old.
Gen Z is getting Botox and filler more and more because they've been lied to. Injectors have tried to tell them, or just people on the internet have come up with this myth that there is such a thing as preventative Botox. And they tried to claim that if you start getting it while you're young, then you're just gonna look younger for longer.
It's just silly. My opinion, if you're 25 years of age, 18 years of age, and you're trying to prevent yourself from aging, you don't need Botox. Think of it. What makes more money? Are the sellers of Botox that say, hey, yeah, start at 20. It'll prevent you from aging. Why not just wait till you need it if you in fact do need it? I'm telling you, no one at 25 is needing Botox on their forehead to make themselves look younger. You haven't even got any wrinkles yet.
Social media is definitely responsible for a lot of this because have you ever used one of those filters that just totally changes your face and you don't even look like yourself and it's kind of jarring? And then when the filter comes off, it's even more jarring. It really chips away your self-esteem.
I hate the filters. I'm gonna be honest. It's getting ridiculous. Y'all can look like yourselves. It's okay. You don't need to change the way you shape your faces to try to look attractive. Be yourselves. If you're confident in your own skin, that is very attractive. If you think you need to change the look of your face in order to be attractive, it's not it. And even if it is, even if it works, to me, that's catfishing. Imagine you change your face so much that you look like a completely different person. And then when you meet that person for the first time, perhaps you're on a dating app of some sort, and they send you all these filtered, doctored photos, and you meet them in person. You're like, hi, who are you? I'm your date. No, you're not. This is who I'm dating. Oh, that's me. No, it's not. I'm looking at you right now. You're in front of me, and that ain't you. Yeah, it is. I used a filter. Doesn't count. Stop. catfishing.
But I just feel like the best thing that I could have done for myself, and probably the best thing that you could also do if you feel like you're going through the same thing, is just stop using filters altogether. Like, just don't use them.
Like, imagine if every photo I put on Instagram, I morphed my photo, I made my waist 2 inches smaller, made my arms look bigger, made myself look leaner, airbrushed everything, and then you meet me in real life and you're like, I thought you were 6'4" and 300 pounds of muscle. I'm like, no, I'm a 5'6" man. Sorry. Wouldn't you rather know the real me than present some fake person on the internet, only to discover that the reality is that you're not that person? Just be yourself.
People looked kind of silly when they lied about it, let's be real.
Physically changed, haven't you? The photographs of you, if I look at them.
No, it's called adolescence. It's called growing and changing.
Yeah, but even the shape of your face has changed.
No, it has not. I've had no plastic surgery on my face.
And so clearly Michael Jackson, he'd never had cosmetic surgery. It had no change. It was just, he was just getting older. It was never anything he did. Being sarcastic, clearly look at the changes. Remember, I've been around for a long time. Remember when Michael Jackson made these changes, we kept saying, wow, he looks a lot different. But perhaps he had a mental disease. He didn't like the way he looked. How is that any different from people who have body dysmorphia right now? I would say now more than ever, people can relate to Michael Jackson. He kept changing his face. He was trying to look better. Was it in fact working? I don't think so. And so consider what he did. Are you doing the same thing to yourself?
If a younger girl looks up to an influencer or a celebrity, chances are she's gonna want to do the same thing.
Girls of 13 are lining up for Botox. Here's why. I hope they're not talking about 13-year-old girls here, because if so, parents, you got to put your foot down. Parents, you're allowed to tell your kids what to do. You are their parents. You're not their friends. You're allowed to have rules. You can say, no, you live in my house under my rules and you're not getting surgery. You're too young.
Like, is this really the solution, or do I just need therapy? Do I just need to go to the gym? Something I also found was that a very large percentage of people that get cosmetic surgery actually have something called BDD, which is body dysmorphic disorder.
And so absolutely, body dysmorphia, people who are getting these cosmetic surgeries, a lot of times it's a mental health problem, mental illness, and so on. A lot of this could be solved by going through therapy. Even going to the gym can help. And so what's astounding to me is that women, and yes, some men, will spend an hour, perhaps 2 hours, putting on their makeup, their hair to look beautiful every single day. Imagine if they spent that same time going to the gym and exercising and skipping the whole makeup routine. Which do you think they would look better? I mean, you can debate me, you can argue me, maybe the makeup does a better job. But wouldn't you rather have someone who's healthy?
Confidence truly does come from within. Somebody could match every single one of society's standards and still not feel good about themselves, still not be confident.
Exactly. Confidence comes from within. And if you can just love your body for what it is, people around you are going to notice that. They're going to embrace that. They're going to love that about you.
So let's talk about those standards real quick. The reason why we shouldn't give into these standards is because they're not even real. They're always changing.
Exactly. These standards, they change from year to year. Some years the small lips are cool. Another year a small bum is cool. When I was growing up, girls with big booties and curves, it wasn't even a thing. No one wanted that. Guys with abs, no one wanted abs. It wasn't a thing we thought after. And so depending on the year, the trend, are you really going to get surgery just to keep up with the trend? Perhaps in 10 years from now, that trend is gone and you're left with some kind of surgery that you regret. And so please be careful. Don't get a surgery that you think is cool just because that year it's the in thing to do. Really think about it. Don't get surgeries unless you absolutely need it and you've thought about it longer and harder than last time.
Like, at one point in time, it was attractive to be overweight because it represented wealth. One point in time, it was attractive to be super skinny.
And even in some parts of the world, it's attractive to be really pale. In other parts, it's attractive to have a tan. Everything depends on where you're at.
Maybe there's a slight chance that you wouldn't, if society deemed your nose as beautiful and like the ideal nose, you'd probably love it. That's why it can just be so dangerous, because external validation can be dangerous.
And so she brings up a great point. You need to value your own opinion more than everyone else's. If you succumb to thinking that other people's opinion of you are more important than your own, that if someone says you need bigger lips or better skin or better this or better that, that you just simply take their word over yours, that's when it's going too far. Society has put on all these expectations that we have to live up to. But you are the ultimate decider of what you will or will not do. And so in the end, you are the gatekeeper. You decide if you get surgery or not. If you're contemplating any of these surgeries, please be careful. Think about it long and hard. Don't simply get that surgery because somebody made fun of you and you simply can't handle it. please remember, your opinion matters most. It's okay to listen to people. It's okay to have validation from others, but the validation you need most comes from yourself. Go and check out Mama Swole's original video. Remember, I've done videos on her in the past. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it, watch one of those 2 bloops. Did you subscribe? Did you click the bell button? Obviously, you can get the cookbooks, the training books, the circle die book. You can purchase any of these. All you have to do is head over to the website. Don't forget, code Greg, 15% off. And of course, we got Acti Builder, Turk Builder, Geo2 Max, as well as so many other supplements like pre-workouts, proteins, and so on. Head over to my website and don't forget to pick up that free diet and training program. Remember, it's free, close to 50 pages. Also become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.